Once Upon a Time, the musical episode, Sunday on ABC.
This is like our shtick now. This is what we say. We're like, we're so excited, but it's true. Like we definitely have been looking forward to it. After doing the show for so long, you get really excited to have something new and different. And just I don't know. I guess
it was
fun to
also
look forward
important
to.
that they did it right, you know, and the way they've incorporated it into the, I guess, mythology of the show is really clever. So where it's not just a one-off standalone kind of thing, it's part and parcel of what makes Once Upon a Time.
Yeah. I have one song separately where it's kind of near the very end of the episode actually, and the tune is set to the melody that is Emma's theme and has been Emma's theme through the whole entire show. So is behind Emma's moments is exactly what is her song, and so it's kind of cool too that now it feels like there's been this through line of the show having that theme, and now we understand what that means to Emma, and we understand the way that it is actually able to break a curse that's been going on. And so so that's my kind of one big number by myself. And then we have a little duet together at the wedding where we sort of dance and sing,
Which
to
we're
each
about
other.
to do
today, yeah.
this afternoon. The perfect candidate because it's, you know, it's
fits in our
Disney. It
world.
just fits in our world. It's
Yeah.
great. And you know, Alan and sort of Michael said to me that they'd heard that we'd been asked that, and they were like, well, we can do it. We can write, because I think
Yeah.
Eddie had answered at one Comic-Con, yes, but we're not sure how we would write the music, and they were like, we can
We'll
write
do
the
it.
music, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So
And they did an amazing job.
They did
I
an
mean, the
amazing job.
collaborative effort, it just suits the show.
Yeah.
It's just, there's every once in a while you get to a place where you're like, everything feels right about this. So clearly we haven't seen it yet because we're still in the midst of shooting it. However, everything about it so far has felt so authentically right for Once Upon a Time.
Snow White, back in the day, apparently made a wish upon a star.
It's her fault.
That she would procure for Emma what she needed to achieve her happy ending. All of our emotions are motivated by what's happening.
There's just a lot more rehearsals than what we normally get. And of course we don't.
Queen, you know, I don't think we'd ever thought she would sing. It's really fun to see her sing. It's been a lot of fun for me to sing. Her number is more kind of more along the lines of, you know, David Bowie meets Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I have, like, I think the only rock number. So she's full on glam rock. There's a lot of dancing involved. There's a few vignettes in her song where she goes and she visits Geppetto and Granny and the dwarves, and it's a lot of fun. I'm having a blast. It's been one of my favorite episodes. We see the evil queen dance for the first time in a very sort of fun, seductive Fosse meets Hamilton way. That was a lot of fun for me. I haven't danced like that in probably 15 years. So it required a ton of rehearsal, and I love it. I love it. It woke up the inner dancer in me. It's been a lot of fun, and there was a lot of rehearsal because the number was so big. I think the music's amazing. It's all original songs written by Alan Zachary and Michael Weiner, and they did a phenomenal job. These are two guys that really know the show and have followed the show, so they really understand the characters, and that was really helpful in writing the music for the show. And I'm ready for the next musical. Truly, it's been a lot of fun. Having this musical is going to be a breath of fresh air for people. They're going to, you know, see a different side to these characters and learn something new about the actors that they love. And I think it's just going to be a huge hit.
It's kind of about the power of song and how it connects our family. And I think it's really, really interesting and cool how they incorporated the musical episode into the show. Instead of just, you know, throwing in random songs, they have these meaningful songs to our series that kind of tie things together nicely. The music is completely original, and I think that's really interesting, because a lot of musical, or some musical shows, they kind of take songs and adjust them or change them to fit like in their own style. But with ours, it's like new stuff, and I think it's amazing because these are going to be songs, original things connected to our show.
It's completely different to any episode we have ever done. I mean, we've literally shot a musical. It couldn't be more perfect. The fans have wanted us to do this for years, and all the conventions that we do, they've always said, would you like to do one? And I've always advocated for it. I think it's a brilliant idea, and the fans are going to love it. They're going to freak out when they see it. I found out very, very last minute, and I said, I can sing, please let me be in it, I'll give you 20 quid. And they let me, so, you know, they threw me a bone and gave me a solo. My solo is wicked. When I first heard it, I didn't know what to do with myself. I started dancing around my house. I was like, ah! It's so cool. What's great about the musical is it isn't its standalone episode where it's just removed from everything else. It is actually part of the story and part of us coming up to the final battle towards the end of season 6. So it's not sort of like apropos of nothing and doesn't make sense. It's continuing the story, except that we've been put under this curse where we just can't stop singing, which happens to me in real life anyway, so it's totally normal. I mean, it's Disney. It's like when you watch a Disney cartoon, all of a sudden everyone breaks out into song and off you go. And it's like, that's what this episode is. It's like a little mini Disney movie. And I think all the fans will have fun with the song. And I'm sure I'll be meeting lots of fans singing my song to me, which I look forward to.
Last summer, a couple of incredibly talented composers, Alan and Michael, came to see us. And they were very enthusiastic about the show and about the idea of doing a musical episode. And as we started talking, ideas started to flow, and we started to think maybe there is a way to do it.
I think, you know, for us also, as we knew this year was going to be the wedding of Emma and Hook, and we thought, well, you know, the one request we've had since the show began is, when are you going to do a musical? Because obviously fairy tales lend themselves to that. So I think we thought, well, this is the perfect opportunity to make their wedding even more special. Let's make that the musical. A lot of them come from musical theater. All of them love musical theater, and they all have a lot of talent. And so the minute we brought this up to them, they were like children. They were all like, let's put on a show. I mean, every single one of them was very excited about it.
One thing we've learned over the years is never bet against our cast. There's nothing they can't do. And when we started to talk about the musical, it was funny. I didn't really even think about it as like a question of could they do it, would they want to do it. I just assumed they could. And not only could they do it, they exceeded our expectations.
We've become used to writing things and then them making us look better. So we thought, well, this should be no different.
Alan and Michael were big fans of the show, and ABC put us together with them and said that they were interested in doing a musical episode. They had some ideas for how to do it, and they sent us some of their songwriting and songs they'd done, and we were blown away by how talented they were, and we were actually quite surprised. We're like, wow, you know, these guys are legitimately successful Broadway composers and really, you know, great talented songwriters, and they want to, you know, do a musical for our show. Okay, that sounds amazing. And we sat down with them, and they were amazing. And it really became a question of, you know, could we pull it off in terms of time and in terms of how we tell stories on this show, and, you know, with enough lead time and all the logistics of it. Like, all those questions start to come into play. But on a creative level, Alan and Michael were so in sync with us that it was an incredible collaboration from the get-go.
One wish upon a star.
I wish we had what we needed to help Emma, to give her a chance at a happy ending.
And the entire enchanted forest is singing.
Love is the most powerful magic of all.
They cast a spell so everyone breaks into song.
It's a magical fairy tale wedding event. Once Upon a Time, the musical episode. Next Sunday, 8/7 Central on ABC.